Imagine this. You're driving down a dark, empty road. No lights, no cars, just silence. And then, someone appears. Someone who shouldn't be there. Someone who isn't alive. Welcome to our deep dive compilation of real eyewitness accounts that science still can't explain. These aren't internet ghost stories or urban myths passed around Reddit. These are actual reported cases, from cops, soldiers, students, and ordinary people whose lives were never the same again. Some stories will make your spine tingle. Some will make you question reality itself. And some will make you sleep with the lights on. So get comfortable, or not, because what you're about to hear may just be too real. Subscribe and hit the bell, because we drop deep, eerie content like this every single week. Trooper Daniel Myers thought it would be another routine night. A broken down car, maybe a drunk driver. Nothing unusual, but what he found haunts him to this day. He saw her from a distance. A teenage girl, drenched in rain, standing barefoot by the road, her dress torn, her eyes hollow. He slowed down. She didn't move, just pointed. "Help them, please." And just like that, gone. Not walked away, not ran, gone. Ahead, 30 meters down, a car had skidded off the road and crashed into a ditch. Inside was a family, unconscious but alive. In the back seat, a photograph of the daughter who used to sit there, the girl he'd just seen. But here's the kicker. She had died in that exact spot, 7 years earlier, in the same car model, same hairstyle, same white dress. And now, every anniversary of her death, local residents say they see her. Police Carlight real-life parallel. This case eerily resembles Japan's famous ghost of Route 263. A woman who appears to drivers in almost identical fashion. Thought balloon speculation. Are these spirits bound to unfinished tasks? Are they stuck in loops? Or are they trying to protect the living? What would you do if a ghost pointed you to someone in danger? Would you follow? Let us know in the comments. Every year on November 11th, Armistice Day, Margaret Wells swore she heard him. 2 knocks. A pause. 2 more. It was the same secret knock her husband, Arthur, would use before deployment in 1914. And after he was killed in the Battle of the Somme, she said he never stopped knocking. Everyone thought it was grief, until her skeptical daughter, Anne, came to visit. At exactly 11:11 p.m., the knock came, and opened the door, nothing. But there were muddy footprints on the doormat. Military grade, according to local historians. Not a shoe soled in decades. They followed the trail, right to the armchair where Arthur used to sit. The seat was warm. Brain deeper context. This wasn't the only post-war case. Across Europe, countless widows reported visitations during anniversaries. Are these echoes of emotional trauma, or something much more literal? Thought balloon commentary. Time doesn't always flow the way we think it does. What if trauma leaves more than just memories? What if it leaves imprints? Have you ever felt the presence of someone you lost? Tell us below, no judgment, only chills. Pluckley Village is famous, or rather infamous, for its ghosts. But Deering Woods nearby is something else entirely. Locals call it the Screaming Woods. Ben Carter was a skeptic. He brought a camera, a tape recorder, and a tent. Wanted to prove everyone wrong. But the screams, they were real, high-pitched, inhuman, sometimes like a child, sometimes like something else entirely, and his recorder captured it. One chilling voice whispered, "Why did you leave me?" Historians revealed a grim twist. In 1924, a young woman named Eloise disappeared in that very area, never found, but her final letter ended with the exact same phrase. Would you dare spend a night alone in these woods? Just for proof? Yes or no in the comments. The elevator game is a viral Korean legend. Press a sequence of buttons. If a woman enters and you speak to her, you're trapped forever. 3 students decided to test it. June, Min, and Sue. They filmed everything for TikTok before it was even big. June was the only survivor. She says they reached floor 10. And the woman entered. Pale, black hair, staring forward. Sue laughed. And then, the elevator skipped the next floor. She tried to press the button, nothing. The lights glitched. Sue stepped out. He never came back. Security later reviewed the footage. All was normal. No third person. No skips. But Ji-yoon still sees the woman. In reflections, in dreams, in places where there are no elevators. Mobile phone with arrow modern connection. This story exploded on Korean YouTube and forums, especially after the tragic death of Elisa Lam. Another chilling elevator incident in 2013. Thought balloon theory. Could elevators tight enclosed electronic be portals? To dimensions that mirror ours, with just one thing off. Would you try the elevator game if it meant glimpsing another world? Or would you back out? Frank Dawson's wife died in 2007. They'd been married 51 years. Every evening, they used to sit by an old radio and drink tea. One night, during a thunderstorm, the radio turned on by itself, even though it was unplugged. And it played a voice recording from 1969, where she was laughing, saying, "Frank, you always burn the toast." He had never digitized that tape. It was lost in a flood years ago. And then she whispered, "I never really left." Wrench tech note. Experts inspected the radio. It had no tape, no receiver, no power. So how did it play her voice? Thought balloon speculation. Are emotions, like love and grief, frequencies strong enough to transcend dimensions? What if grief is a conduit for something more? Could your love for someone bring them back, even just for a moment? The old Victorian home was a steal. Needed work, sure, but it had history. Katie was showing it to clients. Until strange things began happening. She'd climb into the attic, then suddenly realize 15 to 20 minutes had passed, even though it felt like seconds. She installed a camera. What it captured? A 7-foot-tall silhouette, moving behind a stack of crates, with glowing red eyes that blinked slowly, and then vanished. The footage, corrupted beyond recovery. She quit real estate. Eyes historical note. The home was once owned by a spiritualist family in the 1800s who performed seances in the attic. Local archives confirm multiple deaths during those rituals. Thought balloon theory. Some spirits aren't lost. They're invited. And once in, they stay. Have you ever seen something out of the corner of your eye that just didn't belong? 911 received multiple calls. A woman was seen staring from the upstairs window of a long-abandoned home. Patrols went out. House was locked. Empty. Then, a final 911 call came in. From inside the house, the voice whispered, "Please, make them leave. They're not supposed to see me." Caller ID traced it to a disconnected landline. Out of service for 14 years. Link trending tie-in. Similar reports were filed in Detroit, New Orleans, and parts of Romania. Identical phrasing from ghost calls made to emergency services. Thought balloon question. Are there spirits who believe we're the intruders? If ghosts have rules, what happens when we break them? We've heard voices in the static. We've seen echoes in the fog. We've touched stories that time forgot. Some mysteries remain unsolved for a reason, but that doesn't mean they aren't real. Backhand index pointing down comment which story hit you the hardest, or if you've ever experienced something unexplained. Thumbs up like this video, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications because next week, we explore real cases of people who vanished,